So one of the nice things in Ansible Tower is that you can set it up for role-based access control. And in order to use role-based access control, you use users and teams. So Tower users are users that are used by people that need to access the Tower interface. So typically the Tower user is your IT staff, and you want to grant specific roles within Tower possibilities to the IT staff. And Tower users are used with role-based access control to give these users access to specific roles. So you don't just need a user, you also need to assign this user to a specific role. And roles can be assigned to either individual users or teams. Depending on the role-based access control settings that are granted to an Ansible Tower user, the user will be able to view or use or change or remove Ansible objects. There's also organizations. Now, what is an organization? An organization is the highest level of role-based access control, basically. It's a collection of teams, projects, and inventories. Organizations make sense in very large deployments because they allow users and teams to be configured with access to specific sets of resources. And Ansible Tower comes with one organization with the name default. And most companies, most Ansible Tower users never get beyond that single one organization. Now, according to the Ansible Tower usage license, additional organizations may be created, but that depends. Now, users exist at the Ansible Tower level and they can have roles in multiple organizations, so they go beyond the organization. When working with users, there are different types. By default, there are 3 of them. The system administrator has read-write access to the entire Tower installation. The system auditor has read-only access to the entire installation, and a normal user starts with minimal access and must be provided with access by adding roles to the user. So the normal user is the perfect candidate if you want to assign just a limited amount of access rights. Then there are teams as well. A team is a group of users, and teams exist at an organization level. System administrator users can assign the team roles on resources in different organizations, and teams cannot get roles on the organization object itself. It's about resources within the organization. The last component to understand to bring it all together is the organization role. So different roles are available and can be connected to the user. These are organizational admin, the project admin, the inventory admin, the credential admin, the notification admin, the workflow admin, the job template admin, the auditor, as well as the member. And then there is read and execute, and that's it. Now, these are the roles that you need to deal with. And you can choose either one of them to assign it to an organizational scope or a project scope. Now, with all this information, let's go check out how this is working. So the users are right here in the access part. And I'm going to start by creating a user. So we just have user admin as the default user. Let's create user Bob. User Bob has access to an organization. You can see the organization right here. And there's an email address, so bob@example.com. Ignore this user that is cached because that is really a user that is cached by the browser. We want a real user here, so we need to specify the username as well as the password, and we need to enter the password twice. Here we can see the 3 different user types. And according to the user type that you are selecting, you assign the user to a default role. So I'm clicking save, and there we go. Let's create one more user to have a little bit more fun with users. User Linda. Also, we need an email address and a username and a password. And there we go. I'm creating these users as normal users both. So this is how you create users. The next step would be to work with teams. So I'm creating a team. And this team is normal users. These normal users, look at that. I can't assign any users to the team. That is because something that happens a lot in Ansible Tower, you first need to create the resource before you can actually use it. So now the team exists and now we can assign users. And I am clicking plus on the users and I can easily select both of these users. So here we have Linda and oh, what do we see? We don't see user Bob, that's not good. So apparently I forgot to save user Bob. I don't like that, so let me get back there and let me create user Bob. This is something that you should always be careful about. The Ansible Tower interface, sometimes it looks as if you have saved your user, but you did not. Now I can see my user in the list. So now user Bob exists. So I'm getting back to my teams. And in the team, I have my normal users. I'm clicking on the edit action and then I click on users. I'm adding the other user. There we go. Here is user Bob. And now this user is added. Okay. One more thing that you can do with this user, you can work with permissions. No permissions have been granted. So the essence of the user is that you are going to grant permissions to the user. So I'm clicking on the permissions and then I am selecting what I want this user to do. So on CentOS job, for instance, the job template is now selected. I need to click it. And when I click it, then I have my permissions, and on these permissions I can click plus and I can select the team, and normal users is getting a role. So which roles do we have? We have admin, execute and read. I want the normal users to be able to execute. So I'm clicking save and right now I have added this team. You don't see the team. In the overview you see the users, but in the users we can see that these users indeed have execute permissions. So what does that mean? We need to test, of course. So I'm going to log out and I'm logging in as user Linda. There we go. You can see that user Linda, as this is an ordinary user, has a limited view. But user Linda should see the templates, and look at that, we can see CentOS job. I'm not even sure if the job is successfully configured, but that's not what this is about. What this is about is that Linda can run the job. As you can see, there is no edit button, it's just a run button. So there we go, Linda is running the job, and that is about all. So that is how you can configure users and teams with some permissions on some specific resources in your Ansible Tower environment. Now I need to get back because there's one more thing that I want to show you, and that definitely requires admin credentials. So here we are in the generic overview. In the generic overview, I'm going to the settings. Because in the settings we can see the license information, and this is showing which type of license we've got. And based on your license, you may or not be able to create organizations as well. So here we have organizations, and I'm just wondering, can we add an organization? And look at that, my organization, and I am clicking save, and there we go, here is my organization. So I now have two organizations in case that is useful. I'm not going to further show you organizations, but at least I wanted to show you.